Welcome everyone to our pre-full moon garden meditation in Cancer 2025, this momentous year that we are going through. So let's continue to build our healing garden as a group. At some point within the 12 hours prior to each full moon, as DK suggested, meeting him there, turning our garden into a shrine of consecration, and intending to offer our group as a chalice for the love and life of hierarchy and the Christ to be poured in selfless service to humanity. Let's gather in our garden. But before we do, let's align with our own soul. So start with a point of soul focus and raise your consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can, and carry your consciousness upward through the astral body and the mind, then to the soul, and visualize a lotus fully open, scintillating with light as a symbol of your soul body. And place yourself right at the center of your lotus, realizing that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are one in consciousness. And from that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer. Observe your personality below and visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. Then consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine. And you may use indigo blue light if you don't know the color of your soul ray. Then raise it slowly via the 5 centers up the etheric spine, then to the ajna and the crown, and up into the soul body. And now say with full conviction, knowing who you really are, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And sound and om as if you were the soul, as if you were the initiate. Let's enter into our garden. At the entrance to our garden, we stroll through arches of climbing roses Master KH favorite flower. Clusters of flowers in abundance overhead. And choose the colors that you like. And as you walk, let the roses gently caress your face. As you breathe in the delicate aroma of the cascading colorful roses percolating through the air. Small, lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway. And as we all walk down the archway, hear the crackling of the stones under our steps. Along an embankment at the end of the archway, there are rows and rows of flowers, flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones of all colors. And as we create these rows, we include our own favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. On the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony, a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions as a symbol of our united group soul. As we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear, melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space. A chorus of angelic voices sing a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps, divas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. Feel these rays warming your face, your chest, your back, relaxing your muscles. And in the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. And these eucalyptus trees, their presence is fitting in our garden, as DK tells us that they are the most advanced in the vegetable kingdom. These majestic trees cast their protective shadows on the grass as sunlight peeps through our peaceful garden. Around the lighthouse, we see a large, quiet pool of clear blue waters. And flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. We also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily. Across them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float loads of lotuses of all colors, in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, but all reflecting their light in the healing waters. Just beyond the pool, a hidden path leads to a cozy and serene corner. A few chairs or a bench and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water perfumed by a single floating lotus create the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom or healing. So inhale the perfume of the flowers, imbuing and permeating the air. As everything in this garden quivers with livingness. And now invite in that sacred space people that you know in need of healing. Say their names aloud and call them and invite them. In the distance, we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow it, and we come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in a blue pool below, while bubbles of air ricochet spiritedly in the air. And lush ferns alongside the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. In our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads us to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color, reds and creams and yellows of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle living stream among the trees. And a row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air, with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, catching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. While buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which looks like scintillating bright golden pixie dust. Now, this garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. But let's take a moment to add a little corner that has our individual touch. Add the unique flowers, their colors, and the flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in this tranquil and serene and healing space. Let's invite the presence and the cooperation of the healing devas working under the Christ and Master DK. H in particular. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism and vitality. Now sitting quietly, our hearts beating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healer's mantra aloud together. With purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart, we offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. You can name some patients in your own mind. As our outer eyes are closed, we open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. We know that Master DK too stands steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We are now receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. The light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter, intensifying gradually. Soon the light begins to take shape, and in our creative imagination, a definite figure appears. It's that of Master DK. So from the lighthouse, waves of golden light stream through our group, irradiating the garden around us, enlivening it even more, imbuing our garden with a second ray of love and wisdom, and the sixth ray of devotion of Neptune. So feel the energy of unconditional love fill our sacred space and our hearts. Let's listen intuitively to the teachings of Master DK on Cancer. In Cancer, we are told, the purificatory waters of experience begin their beneficent work. This is begun upon the Cardinal's cross, because that cross deals only with wholes and therefore with mass experience. And Cancer is one of the arms of the Cardinal cross. Let's look into the lesson Hercules learned in his fourth labor, which elucidates for him, and hopefully for us as well, the concept of the whole, of the one life, so central to the Cardinal cross. Hercules is given a test to decide which voice of all the many voices will arouse the obedience of his heart, a test which will awaken on the inner side of life the fullness of his wisdom and the rightness of his power to choose. Hercules hears the voices of two maidens who claim the doe is theirs. They are the symbols of the two lower aspects of mind, the subconscious and intellectual consciousness. One voice came from the bright circle of the moon, which is the home of Artemis. The moon, symbol of the form, instinct, mass consciousness, animal instinct, or the instinctual response to one's environment. And the other from the maiden Diana, the huntress of the heavens. symbol of the intellect, human ideas, or the lower mind. Both symbols of the two aspects of consciousness belonging to the three lower worlds or to form. Another voice fell on his ear, and with commanding accent said, "The dough belongs to neither maid, O Hercules, but to the god whose shrine you see on yonder distant mount. Go rescue it and bear it to the safety of the shrine and leave it there." The doe, or the golden antlered fawn, symbol of the intuition, buddhi, the life aspect, seated in the heart, or the soul, the heart of monadic life. The doe belongs to the god whose shrine you see on yonder distant mount. The labor hints at the fact that both lower aspects of consciousness must be transmuted into intuition, the one consciousness. From hill to hill and wood to wood, he hunted it until close to a quiet pool. Full length upon the untrampled grass, he saw it sleeping, wearied with its flight. Exciting all the will of which he was possessed, he nearer drew, and yet the doe moved not. Thus he drew close and clasped the doe within his arms, close to his heart. "The search is over," he shouted aloud. "At each point reached, the maidens turned my steps, but still I did persist. And now the doe is mine. The doe is mine. Mine by long search and travel, and mine likewise, because I hold the doe close to my heart." Not so, O Hercules, came to his ears the voice of one who stands close to the great presiding one within the council chamber of the Lord. The doe belongs not to a son of man, even though a son of God. Carry the doe to yonder distant shrine where dwell the sons of God, and leave it there with them. And are you not a son of God, although a son of man? And is the shrine not also your abode? And share you not the life of all who dwell therein? Bear to the shrine of God the sacred doe, and leave it there, O Son of God. The temple of the Lord, the shrine of the Sun God, the distant shrine where dwell the sons of God. The Sun God spoke. From out the holy place, "The doe is mine, not yours. Its spirit rests with me from all eternity, here in the center of the holy shrine. This is the one life and being who pervades all manifestation, animates every form on the outer objective plane, and flows through all kingdoms, through all planetary schemes and evolutions in the solar system. This one life pulsates and circulates through all via the fiery strands. The essential unity, lying as it does outside of consciousness and known reality, takes place first of all in this sign, Cancer, one of the most ancient of the signs. Hercules is learning the lesson of group consciousness, wholeness, detachment from the form, and identification with spirit, the one life. All souls are one and share the same life force and are made of the same life. The part is the whole and not separate from it. The one life flows through the whole of humanity and through all the lower kingdoms. This is the voice that Hercules is hearing, arising from his heart, his soul. This is the test which awakened on the inner side of life the rightness of his power to choose. God breathed into men's nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. In these words, Dike tells us, you have established the relation which exists in the mind of God between spirit, the breath of life, the soul, consciousness, and man, the form. Bear in mind also that the life which pours through all the centers, which animates the whole of space, is the life of an entity. It is therefore the same life in all forms, limited in time and space by the intention, the wish, the form, and the quality of the indwelling consciousness. The types of consciousness are many and diverse, and yet life remains ever the same and indivisible, for it is the one life. Cancer is predominantly the sign of mass consciousness or instinct, but the sublimation of instinct is intuition. In the same way as matter has to be lifted up into heaven, so instinct, Artemis, has to be likewise lifted up. And when it has been thus transcended and transmuted, it manifests as intuition symbolized by the doe. The intermediate stage is that of the intellect, dhyana. So let's use our creative imagination to symbolically hold a golden fawn in our arms, close to our heart, and let's carry it to that distant shrine where dwell the sons of God, and leave it there with them. As we gather in our garden on the inner plane, look around and be mindful of our group. Understand deeply that there is no my soul or thy soul. There is not only one soul, one consciousness, but also one life flowing through all of us. So feel the power of the one life flow through our group. Let the wave of the one life permeate our garden, enlivening it, and sense our garden around us, imbuing the one life. Cancer, the light within the form. This is the diffuse light of substance itself, the dark light of matter. It's the light awaiting the stimulation coming from the soul light. The keynote for the disciple is, I build a lighted house and therein dwell. Cancer is the sign of manifestation, the sign of the form, the light of matter. The form or the manifested universe is a receptacle for the soul or the consciousness and the life within. And on the higher turn of the spiral, the causal body is also the chalice for Buddhi, the life and the will to good. So being the light of matter, hence the ray 3 and ray 7, which are being transmitted by Cancer. Let's see our garden as a lighted house on the inner plane, with DK at the summit of our lighthouse, symbol of our united soul group, beaming and radiating life. And may our garden be a chalice for the power of the one life, of intuition, of Buddhi, and the will to good, nourishing and sustaining the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every tree, every molecule of water and air of our garden. So now let's make use of our garden by visualizing the flow of unconditional love and the will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the embodiment of will and power, the spirit of peace, the embodiment of cosmic love, and the Lord Buddha, the embodiment of light, overshadowing the Christ at the center. Thus the Christ, with the fused energies of love and wisdom, with the aid of the avatar of synthesis and of the Buddha, and under the influence of the spirit of peace and of equilibrium, can implement and direct the energy which will produce the new and coming civilization. He will see, demonstrating before his eyes, the true resurrection, the emergence of mankind from the imprisoning cave of materialism. So let's now superimpose the radiating triangle on another triangle consisting of the mast of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group to form one blended triangle. See these two triangles fusing and merging. Then superimpose these blended triangles on our group chakric triangle on the etheric plane. And this triangle is made up of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major, vitalizing that triangle. And now, directing the dispelling radiance via our group ajna, right eye, left eye. Place the blended triangle, impressing it over the three planetary centers, London, Geneva, and New York. a resounding Om, carrying the fiery love from Sirius, the will to good, the life of our planetary logos and that of our solar logos, to the hearts of humanity. And let us say the healer's mantra aloud in a low voice, saying it deliberately as we believe in the results. May the love of the one soul and the life, the one life, focused in this group, radiate upon you, our fellow man, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. May the life and the light of intuition of Cancer fill the hearts of all those who are touched by our garden. May it become a light which guides the crying ones into the place of light.
Let's intone the powerful invocations as a group soul, saying them with intensity of feeling, in unison with hierarchy on the inner planes, as we grasp their significance and believe that they embody the will of the planetary logos. That the forces of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May men of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all men keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part.
Let the lords of liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming say, Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with mass intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and depth fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The activate of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end.
just like Christ does daily, standing under his great pine tree in his garden at sunset, with his hands uplifted in blessing over all those who choose, over all those who truly and earnestly seek to aspire. Let's picture a great pine tree in our garden, and let's gather around the Christ, Master DK, and the healing ashram under it, saying the great invocation together.
Let's work with the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.
Thank you, Michael. And now raise your clasped hands above the head and say, and so let it be, and help us to do our part. Bring them down to your forehead and let them rest on your heart. And let the power of the one life radiate out into your environment, to your community for the rest of the day. May the blessing of the Christ and of hierarchy rest upon all true servants, and may this stand tranquil in the midst of strife. May the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane what the sun is to the gardens of the world. That is, a safe and serene haven, a place of gathering, and a healing pool of light and life for many. Thank you, friends, for joining us today. So, on behalf of Hierarchy, gratitude for your sacrifice and service. The two keynotes of the soul. And friends, well, for me it's tomorrow, but for you it will still be today at 8 p.m. GMT. We will combine our TOS meditation with a Cancer full moon, which just happens to be at 8:36 GMT. So we'll combine these two so that we can meditate at the same time with the whole of Hierarchy at the time of the full moon. So please join us if you are able to do so. If not, we will record the session and you can meditate on it, or with it rather, at your own time. Thank you so much, friends, and I'll see you, whether it's subjectively or in person, at the Cancer full moon tomorrow. Your today. Thank you.